Alright, so in order to make the auto crafting stuff, what do I need right away? I need the pattern encoder, right? So let's make the pattern encoder.
Probably be easier on you if you went over to my place and used ours, because we got a lot of the stuff already encoded.
Yeah, but that defeats the point.
I know it does, but hey, I'm trying.
No, I appreciate it. Okay, let's see, got that. So get some silicone, there we go. Make a whole bunch of advanced processors.
I'm gonna take Rose with me one day over to the Twilight
I've
and
never
have
been
her
over
go
to the
through
Twilight.
a castle with me.
I take that, a crafting table, an advanced processor, a storage cell, 2 conversion matrix, some iron, should give me a pattern provider. I'm going to want 2 of those though. There's 2. Now I'm going to need CPUs for the crafting. Okay. And I'm going to need 1 and 2 of those. I'm going to need the heat fence, because it's going to hold 8, so I need there 2 pattern fires, 2 crafting, right. Now for the vents. Iron bars. Do I have iron bars? I do not.
Let's go off then.
Okay, now we have iron bars, but we have no iron.
You've got your ME system up and going.
Mm-hmm. To an extent, yeah.
Have you not set a quarry down?
I set a quarry down a while ago.
I didn't know you'd set one down yet or not.
Oh yeah, I set one down. That's part of why I had to put in the ME system, because I had a bunch of chests down in the basement full of stuff from the quarry. I couldn't find anything.
You either?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty bad.
I ended up having to set up a second one down there at the house for just the magic room stuff.
I don't know if I'll ever go that far, considering the amount of stuff that you can store in there. Alright, so I'm making some heat fence with iron bars, an ME cable, and iron ingots. And then I need containment walls. In order to make that, I'm going to need 36 of them. I've made 3. I'm going to need a lot more iron, so I've got some iron cooking. Let's see how many we can get here. Okay. Let us build our automatic crafting system. Oops. I didn't take everything out that I need to. Alright. Resume construction. Okay, now we want the heat fence. Put heat fence in there. There. Heat fence up there. On the sides here. Fill up this one. Alright, now we'll take our 6 crafting CPUs and we'll put them in here like so, and then we'll take our 2 pattern providers, put them in, and then our last 2 heat vents to seal it up, and voila! Beautiful. Now we need to connect it to the main system upstairs. It should be relatively easy. Go. Cable. 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 There we go. Seal that back up. There we go. Now we take our pattern encoder and we are going to place it right. Well, let's bust this one out. Put the pattern encoder right there. It doesn't actually need to be powered, but we're going to power it. And now we need blank patterns. Okay, gonna have to make a trip to the Nether to get more glowstone, but that's okay. We have enough stuff for the moment to keep going. Glass. Glowstone. Iron. The quartz. So we come over here and we put the quartz in the middle. And it uses ghost items, so we don't actually have don't actually need the full number of items. Run those across there. Put our blank pattern up there and hit encode. And now we have a pattern for a blank pattern. Right, so if we go downstairs, we can put that in our crafting system. And now our system knows how to craft a blank pattern, a blank pattern. See, it says craft, we can click it and it can tell us how many that we want to craft. Now we don't have any glowstone, so that's not going to do us any good. The other thing we're probably going to want to craft right away is a crafting monitor. Oops, wrong search box. Crafting monitor, which is very simple. Let's see if we have all the parts. No, we have everything except for that, but we have that. So, ta-da! Where do we want to put the crafting monitor? Where it's going to be someplace we can easily see it. So what? We're going to switch this a little bit. We'll put our crafting monitor here. And we're going to put our pattern encoder over here because it doesn't actually need to be powered to work. So now we have our crafting monitor that will show us what we're currently crafting in the system. Next thing we should probably teach it would be
how to make a BLT.
BLT, hey, not bad. Not bad at all. Oh, I have it. Okay, so let's come over here. Let's teach it how to make some simple wood. Okay. And then teach it with wood how to make sticks. All right. Now the system will know how to make redwood planks and sticks.
I still think a BLT would be better.
I think so too, but that ain't gonna happen. At least not when I can eat. Maybe Steve could eat it, but I can't eat it.
Steve don't need no stinking BLT.
Fair enough.
I do.
I ain't eat nothing today.
So I can.
You, kitchen, now.
Means I gotta cook, and I don't feel like cooking.
Alright, so let's teach it how to make a quartz cutting knife. That's why we taught it how to make sticks out of wood. Just so it could make a quartz cutting knife.
On my boat, I got out of it and it went away.
It sank.
No, it floated away.
Oh, it left you behind. That's no good. Okay, so we go redstone. Another quartz dust. Quartz dust gives us our flux dust. We need that recipe. There we get our cable. So let's encode that because we need to be able to make cable quickly. Quartz knife, gold, redstone, and a piece of silicone. There we go. We encode that, and it now knows how to make the basic processor. Except it doesn't know how to make gold ingots. It doesn't know how to make the silicone, and it doesn't know how to make turn the basic processor assembly into an actual processor. We'll fix all that later. For now, that is enough of a start to help us with this. And we should be able to also go, there's our basic processor, let's make one of those. And it made one, but I didn't have a quartz knife in there. So what did it do? It made a new one. Alright, so we've encoded the machine frame so that we can make some of these machines a little faster. It should make things easier. What I've done here is I've encoded a redstone reception coil. It's made with the 2 redstone 1 gold ingot. We've made them before. And I'm just going to toss it back in here along with the machine frame. Hopefully we can use that to make something good. Pulverizer, flint, copper. Alright, so let's get some items. Let's get some flint. Let's get a little bit of copper. Oh, we're running low on copper. Let's get a frame. Yeah, let's make 5 of them. Just need 1, and let's get a redstone reception coil. Look at that. Awesome. So if we come over here and we clear this, code. I want another pulverizer. Yay! And it made it for me. Okay, so I just make copper cables and re-batteries available through the system. At least I thought I did. Yes, there. So I can now make bunches of these. Yay! Alright, so let's look at what it takes to make an MFSU. A lot more than I currently have. do, I'm gonna make a few more. You know, I always get that backwards. There we go. Make a few of these. And we're gonna clear that, and then we're gonna go and make some of those. So we go tin there, coil, machine frame, empty bucket, glass, glass, and that's wrong. It's not a coil, because there's no redstone involved, just pneumatic servo. Don't know why I was thinking of that, but right. And we'll throw that full aqueous accumulator back in there. I could say I want 2 of those, and now I have 2. So I can bring these back upstairs, and I can plop these guys right back into there. Alright, now let's get our fireboxes, our high pressure boiler. Here's I'm using a diamond pipe and sandstone. Okay, so the diamond pipe will can inject the charcoal up for me through the white side into the fuel boxes from underneath. The reason I'm using sandstone pipes is because they won't connect to the fireboxes, because they don't connect to machines. So I don't have to worry about them trying to put the charcoal in and then spitting the charcoal out because the inventory of the fireboxes is full. So X, craft 1, there we go. There. Now we have access to the pipe. Let's send a little more energy to roast than that.
This is our little modification to pull charcoal out of the deep storage and start bringing that second steam boiler up to full speed.
So we can teach it how to make a wooden gear. Redwood sticks. Which are my preferred stick, apparently. Okay. If you look, when we put these in the recipe, they don't work. And it's because these sticks are not recognized for the recipe. So I can't make a gear, sadly. We will take a piston, which we've already taught it the recipe for, and glass. And now we can teach it how to make a redstone engine. Look at that, a redstone engine. And we wait a little bit, and all of a sudden we have a redstone engine. Now, you may have noticed that took a little bit, and that's because it had to go through and it had to craft some parts. Not a lot of parts. I think they were all already in there. But the more stuff it has to put together, the longer it's going to take to craft.
So now we're going to take this export bus, and we're going to put it right here, I think, and we're going to put down a condenser, the ME condenser, right next to it. And we're going to export items out of it into the condenser to kind of get rid of them and destroy them. But first we got to put a couple other things in there. Let's just take that. Alright. Oops. Alright, that's in there. Yeah. I'm forgetting something. Oh, yeah. Have to put a storage cell in there. And put some wood in there. There we go. 56 of, okay. Well, it looks like it's going to take it a while to... Oh, there we go. Condense it. Excellent.
There's a condenser that will just destroy items that you can plug into your ME system and just basically export stuff you don't want to it, and it just will delete it.
Really? Just like the void pipes?
Yeah. Except after you delete 250,000 items, you can make singularities, which are useful for certain things in the ME system. I haven't figured out what yet. but they're useful. I've got an interface to take items in from these two powered furnaces, and I've got interface blocks positioned on them. And in the interface blocks, I've put recipes for the basic processor, turning the basic assembly, or basic processor assembly into a basic processor, glass, sand into glass, and the steel dust into 2 steel ingots. So now, in my crafting system, I can actually request these things, and it will make them from the raw materials all the way up. I have a second furnace that's not set to do anything yet, and as a result I now can make steel gears, which means, since I can do glass and steel gears, you know what, I don't want the steel in that one, I want the steel in this one. I want steel and glass separate. And I want them separate because if I make a steel engine, I'll need glass as well as steel, and it can make them both at the same time. Speaking of steel engines, I should be able to, in theory, go tell it or teach it the recipe for a steel engine. Right?
Nope.
Oh. Thank you so much.
You're
Welcome.
very welcome.
Mm-hmm. I see how it is. Glass, let's see, what else do I need? I need a piston. And I need plate. Oh, steel plates. I'm going to need to teach it how to make a steel plate, which means I need more interfaces and rolling machines. Darn. But that's okay. So we put it in our recipe for our engine. Let's put a interface here. Let's put the rolling machine on. Okay, put the rolling machine here. And that sets that. Okay, so I get 4 ingots for that. But how do I get them back out?
Very carefully.
And with lots of practice.
I don't like this this location for this. It does not work for me because it requires
Patience?
no, not patience. Although patience might help. It requires a windpipe because it's a rolling machine. So I'm gonna try something a little different. Okay. Now if I go windpipe, all right. Put a redstone torch there. Let's go back upstairs to the boiler room and check on how that's doing. Good there. Good there. I'm not using either of these engines, so we'll steal that one. Like so. Give me 4 of those. Code. Okay, now I just need to get power to it. slight oversight. Alright, well there. So now it will completely make engines for me. From raw base materials. So how many engines do I need?
And what are you using engines for?
I'm adding more engines to my second steam boiler, sir. So I have 6 engines there.
Oh, the commercial engines.
Industrial.
Oh, okay.
It'd be kind of nice if there was a remote crafting terminal.
Yeah, like the access terminal.
Mm-hmm. Or even a remote crafting monitor. Well, that's kind of nice. I didn't know I could do that. Alright, so that gives me that. Now I can code that.
Now the auto crafting system's set up and has a bunch of patterns in it, I'm going to put down this crafting terminal. I'm going to call it a night. Until next time, stay safe, my friend.